Hey guys, we're talking about deepening relationships. I wanted to draw this out for you guys so you can see how we can relate to others. When we're talking about deepening a relationship or deepening a connection or getting to know more about somebody, it is incredibly important that we are being relatable. So relating to others is how a relationship is formed on a deeper level. When we have things that we have in common as we're getting to know somebody, the relationship gets deepened. All right. Now, I just made a video. There's like a pyramid shape that I made, the process of a relationship. I encourage you to watch that if you have not. But what I wanted to talk about is as we're having a conversation, we started with starting a conversation, having small talk, using the Ford method to get a little bit more information. Now we're talking about getting more of a core, deepened relationship with somebody. All right. And I want to encourage and share just how this would look as far as like a target. I drew it out into target. This, I think, is the way that makes most sense to me. Okay. So when we talk about humanity, universal relatability, what everyone experiences. When we have a conversation with somebody, this area is going to relate to the most amount of people. However, it is not going to be an intimate conversation. It's just a way to build a foundational relationship and conversation. When we talk about things that everybody experiences, like the weather or our jobs, everyone has to go to work, okay? So once we engage in a conversation, we can talk about things that humanity has in common. We all have these same things, okay? This is one conversation topic. It's not going to be super deep. You're not going to form a very deep conversation with them based on this, but it's a door opener to potentially talk about something deeper. But this is just something that you can talk about, something that everybody experiences. Number 2 is community. This is our shared context, or we live in the same world. All right, we live in the same world, so to speak. I'm in the world of finance. I'm in the world of basketball. I'm in the world of sewing. I'm in the world of books. I'm in the world of, I live in the United States. President Trump. I live in the world where the climate is increasing. Maybe I want to talk about that. So not everyone's going to care about the United States, Donald Trump, or things like that, or my job. Maybe I'm insurance. I could be in insurance. I'm talking about that same world. I'm in the insurance world. I'm in the finance world. I'm in the social skills world. I'm in the YouTube world. This is a way to have a conversation. This is just something to talk about. And this is going to be a little bit deeper. We are now closer in relation to them than this first category. Hey, we both are Christian. We both are Muslim. We're in the same world as far as that goes. Once we identify that we're in the same world, we can then escalate to see if we're in the same tribe. Tribe is now building an even closer connection. And I'm going to use, let's just say we're Christian. Oh, now we're both under the Christian umbrella. We're both Catholic, or we're both Lutheran, or we're both Baptist Christians. Now we're a part of the same tribe, and now we're getting closer in relationship. So now we can talk about, now we are building a closer, more intimate core connection with them by talking about some of the broader categories. So now we went from Christian to now we're thematic resonance is the term that I would use for this. We're in the same theme of Christian, but now we're getting a little bit closer to niche relatability. So kindred spirits would then be very specific interests. So now we are both Christians. Okay, let's take this from the beginning. We're both humans who live in America who find out we're Christians, and now we're also Baptists, and the Baptists talk about, I don't really know what Baptists talk about, Bible stuff. All right, very specific Bible study topics that Baptists believe in. Okay, we are now escalated from tribe of just Baptists to Baptists that believe a specific religious topic or doctrine. And I'm just using this because it was the first thing that came to my mind. Okay. So now we're really close because we all believe in, let's just say that everyone needs to get dunked in water. Okay, I don't know what Baptists are really believing, but let's just say Baptists believe everyone needs to get dunked in some water. Okay, now they're all part of that group. So what we're doing is we're just filtering and finding out where we align. We could be human beings that like sports that like football that likes the Kansas City Chiefs. Now the Kansas City Chiefs is our kindred spirits. Yeah, we're Chiefs fans. And you could even take this even closer and say Chiefs fans that think Patrick Mahomes is the best. All right? Now, I wanted to say that there's a spectrum to this. Now, once we get to me is a little too far. So this is a little too broad, and this is a little too far. When I want to connect with somebody, I want to be in either blue, green, or orange zone. I don't really want to talk about me super much unless it relates to this. Now, there are things about me that I can share to connect with someone, but they don't also relate to. And I'll just use the Patrick Mahomes thing. And let's just say, for example, just for fun, I do not do this, but all right, I'm a Chiefs fan. Or I like football. I'm a Chiefs fan. Patrick Mahomes is my favorite. I have a Patrick Mahomes shrine that I pray to 3 times a day so the Chiefs win, okay? That's where we're getting a little too hyper-specific to me. And while you can share those things to maybe build a connection, the goal here is to build a connection and find things in common. And it is not likely that the specific things that you're doing, that person also does. Now, you can share just from a vulnerability standpoint, but if we have things that are too hyper-specific to ourselves, now, let's use the shrine example. You're a Chiefs fan, I'm a Chiefs fan, we both love Patrick Mahomes. Now I share that I pray to Patrick Mahomes' shrine 3 times a day. That is going to separate the relationship now because I'm sharing something that does not relate to you at all. Now, I want to encourage you, don't want to overthink this. It is good to share things about yourself, but what I'm just encouraging is be cognizant about what you're sharing. You don't need to tell people all the specific details about yourself. If you want to build a connection with somebody, you want to get to the kindred spirit or tribe zone or even in the community zone. I don't really, unless maybe it's like a spouse or a best friend, we don't really need to share hyper-specific details about ourselves. And that's okay. It's not about being fake. It's not about hiding something. It's about relating to others. And if I have a really weird thing that I'm into, I don't need to just start blabbering about it without knowing that you are into that thing too. All right, so that's just something I wanted to encourage. If I think that, you know, you could take it from sports, you could take it from, I mean, you can take this in any category. It's kind of hard for me to just think about something. Let's just say my favorite song. Here's a good example. We live in the same world. We both like rock music. We both like Blink-182. Blink-182. We both think Tom DeLonge is awesome. Or this one song is awesome. Now, I can get way too into detail with myself and say, I like this specific song because the specific, all the small things progression from C to G to F is just really awesome. I really like the C to G F progression. Or on the song Damn It, I really like the C to G to A to F progression. See, now when I'm talking about that, you see what I'm saying? You can like that song, but now I'm talking about something that doesn't relate to you, and you're like, what are you talking about? And that's like, it doesn't form a connection anymore because I started sharing more. Or like, man, I really like how these specific lyrics came from this specific part in 2004, and now you're really on a rabbit hole that I don't relate to. So now I'm like, dude, sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. We love Blink-182. That song is amazing. Now you took it a step too far, and the relationship does not get any deeper by me sharing hyper-specific information to me. All right? I want to stay away from that zone. I want to stay here and talk about more general things. Unless you and that person are really, really, really on the same page, you would maybe ask some questions. Hey, do you also play music? Do you have any knowledge of music theory? Yeah, I love the C major key that is used in that song. It is a really positive vibe. Okay, but I need to have some discovery questions before I share that. Basically what I was saying, don't get to this zone too fast. It's going to break the trust because they don't know what you're talking about. They do not know what you are talking about. So having better relationships, how do we use this to have better relationships? We realize that everybody has some things in common, and we're figuring out what categories I have in common with that person. If you have any questions, if there's any confusion on this video, please put it in the comments. If you like this video, share it with somebody else. Hit that bell icon so you can experience all the awesome things that I'm going to talk about, and you can have better relationships. Have a wonderful day, guys.